Hold on tight for the next hour. You're entering into a place, a zone called the alternative to the alternative media. It's a place, a special place where even truth seekers fear to tread.
All right, people, let's move like we've got a purpose.
Affirmative.
Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, people of all races, colors, and creeds, welcome back to the greatest show on earth. Yes, it's better. It's better than going to a spirit cooking dinner with Maria Abramovic and only being served white meat with the red sauce. Yes, it's better than listening to the Pope do an exorcism in the Vatican Square with no people there, but he's talking to the devil, and the devil says, "Boy, ain't that the pot calling the kettle back? Black? Oh, my God, yes. Isn't that interesting? Yes, that's why this show's the greatest show on earth, because it's better than listening to Dr. Death Dracula Anthony Fauci. Go give me some more Corona blood, Georgia. Give me some more Corona blood." And guess what? Greg Anthony here on the Investigative Journal. Just a few tips and reasons why people come to this show just to laugh a little bit about the crazy things going on in the world. How can you laugh when there's so much death and dying? Well, you know, I'm not afraid of death. No, I never have been. I've been dead before you were born, folks. You were dead for like hundreds of thousands of years. Or maybe 4,000, depending on what religion you believe in. And it didn't bother me one bit. It's that, you know, step by step walk towards death that really freaks people out. But don't worry, they've come to your rescue. The coronavirus people have decided that everybody's going to die from this, so don't worry about it. That's it. You can't go to the beach, get the beautiful health sun rays. You can't get the vital necessary elements from the beach. They've locked that down. They want you in the house looking like you know what they want? They want you to look like you're all from England. Do you ever go to England? Everybody's like pasty and no sun. They don't want you to look like all those Hollywood movie stars. You know, they go to their private beaches. Isn't that something? Well, by the way, I have a little private beach of my own, but it's not in America. And I'm not telling you where it is because I can still go. But I'm not there right now. I'm at the most beautiful place in the world. Yeah, the eighth wonder of the world. I'm at the replica Colosseum. Yes, the Roman Colosseum right here in a Kansas cornfield, camouflaged. Remember Field of Dreams? You know, they had the baseball field. And everybody came, build it, and they will come. Well, that's what my general, Slats Grobnik, the leader of the Second American Revolution, decided to do years ago, before anybody was talking about this. People used to email me and go, "Greg, you know something, that Colosseum is just a figment of your imagination." I said, "Are you kidding me?" And I didn't really believe Slats all that much until I actually saw it. And I documented that a few days ago. Beautiful place, just like Rome, back when they used to kill the Christians and all of the peasants for the enjoyment of the elite. Well, this show's all about revolution, and we're going to really update it today, so stick with me, because really there's no other thing to do now. I mean, what else we have to think about? Think about this. Well, first of all, Dr. Death Fauci, oh, he's scary. You know something? I'm looking at Bela Lugosi right now with those eyes. Fauci, you know, he's too small to play Dracula, but you know what? He should have been a jockey. Like I said, the first day I saw him, I said, boy, I wish I could see him behind that podium. But anyway, Fauci is a Jesuit shill. Yes, all things are Jesuit-driven here. They are the smartest cookies in the bakery. Let me tell you something. These guys know how to foment wars, how to create chaos, how to do all this stuff. And when they get biotech people, and when they have all this technology, my goodness, these are the most dangerous people in the world. And they're allowed to walk around America without their black robes. Now, that is not fair. Do you understand that there's Jesuits that are priests, but are kind of like walking around like lawyers, doctors, astrologists, people that work in all of these chemical places. They're smart people because it's Jesuit education here in America, Jesuitism. People don't even know about it. But that's how they get away with it. Here's their motto. You know, we control China, we control India, we control America, we control Australia, we control everywhere. Mexico, they were easy years ago. Latin America, come on. All without anybody knowing. That's a secret. And everybody knows, but nobody does anything. So Slats Grobnik got off his butt and said, I'm starting the Second American Revolution. Give me baseball or give me death. I'll get to that in one moment. Guess what? Fauci. Dr. Dracula wants your blood. It's true. He talked to the Georgia Department of Public Health, and it has announced that it is going to be going door to door to get your blood. Fauci said, I need more blood. Yes, teams of government agents are charged with asking questions, including about household members' health, extracting blood from all the people living in the homes. The reason given for the home visit is, you may have guessed it, coronavirus. Yeah, they're going to go around. They've got 2 counties now set up for this test. They're going to be going around to your home. People who live at the 420 randomly selected homes are free to be rights to refuse the questioning and blood drawing by the government inquisition and phlebotomy teams that show up at their front doors. But in reality, people often find it hard to muster the courage to say no to government agents who accost them in person, asking them to comply. People are intimidated. They think they have to say no. They think they're doing something wrong. They're going around getting blood. People, your rights are being taken away. Now listen, I'm going to get a little bit testy here. But man, if you allow them to take your blood, you might as well just give up. I mean, that's the end of it. I mean, don't they have enough blood at these spirit cooking parties to deal with? I mean, how many people do they have to sacrifice to their gods in whatever universe they think they're in before people start saying, get the heck out of my house? Let me tell you, the Vatican has a real interesting way of doing things. They say one thing and they do another. And I could give you a million examples. But anyway, I'm going to try to come to your rescue here. And I've got something on my website I want to mention, but first I want to emphasize this. In California, they're already starting what's called COVID virus surveillance teams. They have 3,000, this is going to be a statewide effort at the local and county levels, okay? Authorized by the state, of course. And Lord Gavin Newsom, you know, the Duke of Sacramento. What they're going to do is they've already hired 3,000 people in conjunction with UCLA and some other biotech companies and all of these, all of the people in San Francisco with the tech companies have already have apps. They already have your training program. Now, you have to be registered as a COVID virus surveillance team member. Spend 20 hours in the course before you can get paid. And they want to increase their army. They called it an army. They have 3,000 people this week. They want to increase it 3,000 a week till they get to, I don't know, some ungodly number, 200,000. You know, that's more than the Danes and the Vikings had when they stormed King Alfred, to try to take over Wessex and unite with Mercia back then. You see, I'm up on the royals' history, so they're not going to pull anything on me. So they're trying to create an army, but today they don't come at you with swords. No, they don't. They come at you with little needles, you know, and, we just want to know, can we take your temperature? You know, pull out your sword and your shield and stand tall and say, prepare to die. You know, they'll leave like that. But nobody has a sword or a shield anymore. No, all you got is a remote in your hand. But you can also play a game with that. I've tried this one time when interesting government. No, I did this, I think, on one of those Mormons that come around you, knock on your house and want to convert you into Mormonism. I hold a remote TV thing, and it looks, kind of funny. And I said, if you don't leave here, I'm going to press this button. It's going to shoot a ray of microwave at your head, which will disable you. You'll not be able to talk for 24 hours. Oh, they're gone. And they're saying to me, all we wanted to do was tell you the beauty of Mormonism. I said, you know what? I don't talk to anybody with a white shirt and a tie this early in the morning. Okay? Bye. But anyway, they're going to be coming around your house in California, and they're going to be meeting you at Walmart. They're going to catch you when you're not looking. You may be, they may be in the bathroom stall waiting for you. You're going to take a leak, and there you go. Hey, can I take your temperature? Well, anyway, they're going to be trained. They already got the apps on this is ridiculous. They've got the apps all ready to go, and people are out of work. 20% unemployment? This is their strategy. So people are going to be snitching on other people, right? But anyway, what I've decided to do, and let me go to this right now to help you, and I'm going to be putting this on my website. And let's see if I could find it here. Let me see. There it is. Okay. And what I've called it is the COVID-19 Citizen Protection Packet. Now, this to me is pretty obvious. It's not a really complicated legal document, but I'm astounded at how many people really don't understand their basic constitutional rights, things that are ingrained in the Bill of Rights and things like that. But it reminds me of, Catholic education. Because I was a Catholic, and you know what? I grew up in Catholic school, St. John Brebeuf grade school, Notre Dame High School, and basically grew up as a Catholic, so I never saw a Bible. And it's amazing how this is the same thing. You grow up as an American, you never see the Constitution or understand it. They don't want you to. You grow up as a Catholic, you never see the Bible. And I think if I was given an opportunity to see the Bible instead of the Catholic Catechism, I would have chose that. Because it's much easier. I didn't want to go to a priest and go, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I just painted John Smith's garage door saying, oh, your son is a jerk with red paint. I don't like doing that, and then they know about it. Then they tell the police and they go to your mother and father, and then you're grounded for 3 weeks. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just sit down in a nice little room, talk to God and say, God, I've got to stop painting garages. I don't know what's wrong with me. It could be that I used to live on a farm, and I'm so used to going out with a bow and arrow and my horse, and now I live in the city, and I feel cramped up. What can I do, dear Lord? And then he'll speak to you. Yeah. You know what? Parents won't find out. Nobody will find out. And he'll say, you do it one more time, and I'm going to strike you down. Well, he may not say that. But anyway, what I'm getting at is you can actually deal with things in a better way than having to go to a priest, especially one who's molested 30,000 children and is looking at you through that little screen going, my, you're a very good-looking young man. But anyway, back to this citizen packet. So it's similar to that. And I'm surprised that people, you see, in that article I read about Georgia, and what's happening in California, this is going to go on in many other states. So I'm going to prepare something really simple, and it's going to be called the COVID-19 Citizen Protection Packet, okay? Pretty easy. It's going to be stop, tracing, tracking, and testing in its tracks. Don't let them harass you. Know your rights, protect your rights. And I'm talking about just some easy stuff that you learn in first-year law school that you never use after that. Yeah, that's what law school is all about. They teach you all this stuff that you never use when you get out. Then you get out, and I said, I want to practice criminal law because all the lawyers are criminals. They don't get to that. They don't teach you the 14th Amendment either. I mean, I heard a lot of things, and these judges, let me tell you something. They are the worst writers I've ever seen. You ever try to read these cases? By the time you're in second-year law school, you go, what did he say? I mean, couldn't he say it a little easier? I mean, they use all these fancy words. Nobody knows what they're doing, but that's how they get away with everything. Yeah, make it simple. Keep it simple. But I said in this, and it's a little packet. I got some nice pictures on it to interest people. And it says, keep this valuable information with you at all times to stop COVID-19 surveillance teams from illegally violating your constitutional rights of privacy. You have them. Yes, use them. And then I got a picture of a man in a black hat with a little, red circle with an X going through it saying, stop the surveillance. Don't give up your personal information, folks, when confronted by a COVID surveillance team. No probable cause. What's the probable cause? First of all, let me give you the idea of probable cause. I mean, if you're walking down the street into a 7-Eleven, a cop comes up to you and says, you know something? Stop. I want to search you, frisk you, do everything. And you go, for what? There's no problem. I'm walking in to buy a soda. That's an illegal search, an illegal seizure. We don't have stop and frisk. And they only did that to black people anyway. So if you're white, don't worry about it. But that's against the law. Now, if you're walking into the 7-Eleven with a shotgun cocked and ready to go, yeah, they may be able to stop you somehow. That's pretty much probable cause in a nutshell. So you're walking down the street, going into Walmart to get yourself, some groceries or something, and they stop you with all these questions. Then they got needles hidden somewhere. They got a temperature gauge. They're going to press that thing on your forehead. You go, wait a minute. Don't give up your personal information when confronted by these people if there's no probable cause. No search warrants. Ask them for that. Ask them who they are. Ask them for their badge. No information is required to be given. People are frightened to do this. And then they say, well, I don't have anything to hide. Yes, you do. Once you do it, others do it. Think of your fellow man. Contract tracing in person or digitally oversteps the government's right to invade your privacy and personal information. Americans, the costs of not having your personal data exploited outweighs the government's intrusions here to your personal privacy since COVID-19 has not been medically proven to be an emergency health risk. The death rate is just like it is for the common flu, despite what you hear on the mainstream media. So if you want to get into a battle of experts, that's what will happen here. You ever been to a civil trial? You got experts on the prosecution side saying, yes, that water is contaminated. Then you got experts are not contaminated. Then you got experts on the other side saying, yes, the water is contaminated. My solution has always been, let the prosecutor drink the water and die right there. If I'm the jury, I go, okay, you drink it. You won't drink it. Okay, jury, did you see that? That end of the trial. They won't drink the water they say is not polluted. Okay, unless it's bottled, from Starbucks. Okay, so that's what you're going to get into here. So if they say, yes, it is, you say, no, it isn't. I'm going to put in this packet couple experts that are going to tell you it's not a medical emergency and this is an intrusion. So then you're going to say, well, this doctor says this. I don't know where you get your information. Let's go to court. Then I got a nice little picture of a dog by a computer, a little puppy, going, how did they find out I'm a dog? See, they are worried too. They're a man's best friend, and you're not helping them. Do you want them to know everything about your Labrador? No. Do you want to let them know that he pooped the other day and you stepped in it? No. That's not, who's going to ever like your Labrador? Do you want to let you know that he goes and pees on your neighbor's tree? No. Or that he got out at night and had a little love affair with the, little Labrador down the block? No. And you didn't get him fixed? These are all things you can handle on your own without the government knowing. And at the bottom of the first page that people see, it'll be a disclaimer, which means COVID surveillance protection package is for information only, not intended to give any legal advice. This is a great question. Only the criminal lawyers are allowed to give legal advice. That's the way they set this thing up. And the reason is they get made like $500,000 an hour, right, for doing it, for giving you legal advice when they're criminals. It doesn't make sense to me. And, I have a law degree, and I'm talking like this. You must say, boy, he's nuts. Yeah, I picked two great professions. I picked journalism, which is basically fake news. Okay, I'll use Don's or King Trump's famous words, fake news. And then I picked law. Both thinking that, I must have been nuts when I was young. But anyway, I learned both of them are the worst professions in the world, really. And there's so many people out there going, Greg, why don't you should be making $1 million doing it. And I go, yeah, I should. But anyway, that's what's going on. So anyway, in the second page, you're going to get a order. It's going to say cease and desist order, citizen citation. In violation of my constitutional rights, it's going to put them on notice, whoever the person is, that they're in violation. It's a nice little segment that you hand it to them. And you're going to say, as a citizen, it says, you do not immediately cease and desist. I'm placing you under citizen's arrest. You have that right. Or you can call the police if you want. That might not help, but, scare them. For violations of public harassment, false imprisonment, and violations of my right of privacy. And then ask them for their name, their employer, and get their ID. Take a selfie of them. Get them on the defensive here, because you're not doing anything wrong. And if they don't leave, then you can take serious action. Let them then let them harass you. Then you get them on assault. You can get them on battery if they start trying to touch you, things like that. So you're going to protect yourself against these criminals. They don't think they are, but they're working for a criminal organization. It's kind of like this. If you work for the mob or you work for the cartels and you're a lower level person, what? You're not guilty of, killing Joe down the block just because the lead cartel guy told you to do that? You don't know what they're going to stick in you, And by the way, ask them where's their mask if they have a mask, and tell them you don't wear one because it's not important, and we can get into a battle of the experts on that as well. So anyway, then there's a spot there where you can write their name, get their employer, and then say these actions may result in fines, civil and or criminal penalties. Okay? That's what you got to have on you. So I'm going to put that on my website, and hopefully a lot of people will use it in, California and stuff, because I know how people are. And listen, if I didn't, look, when they come to me, at least, I learned one thing in law school. Don't be afraid of these people. I mean, you're a lot smarter than them. In fact, many more people in this, following this COVID-19 thing are getting really smart about a lot of things we say in this show that get overlooked in the mainstream media and even the alternative media. Because the real question here is, do you want them to take your mind, body, and soul? And you do have constitutional rights. Do you think they're going to go up to Sean Penn, or they're going to go up to Tom Cruise on the street, or Al Pacino? You're walking down, just say, listen, I'm a great Hollywood actor. Get away from me. And they'll just run. They'll say, can I have your autograph? They're not going to ask them COVID-19 questions. This is all geared to take care of the peasants. You're an extra in their movie. Make it tough on them. So go and get my COVID virus citizen protection packet. I'll have it up in the next couple days at greganthonysjournal.wordpress.com. You can email me at gregbeacon@gmail.com, and I'll get you a copy. And you can be ready when they come, and it'll be kind of fun, Make sure you stick it to them. That's what and then if they say, where should you stick it? You've always come to my show because we've discussed those words, because we're always wondering, when people say stick it, go stick it, where are they sticking it? We're going to tell you that in the second half hour on the Investigatore Giornale here on First Amendment Radio.
The book of Revelation says, the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Jesus Christ. This is at the very heart of FirstAmendmentRadio.com. In that spirit, we have created the Prophecy Reality News app for all of your mobile devices, streaming First Amendment radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Available for your Apple, Android device, and smartphone, absolutely free. Get the Prophecy Reality News app installed today so you can listen to First Amendment radio wherever you are. The Prophecy Reality News app. Get it now.
Visit crosstheborder.org, C-R-O-S-S, crosstheborder.org, to get your print, EPUB, or PDF version of Nicholas Arthur's new book titled When the Third Temple is Built. That's crosstheborder.org. When it comes to prophecy today, much of the evangelical Christian world has their eyes on Israel, waiting and watching to see when the third temple will begin to be built. The plans are drawn, the Jewish people are eager. Most evangelical Christians today believe that the rapture will happen before the third temple is built. Hi, I'm Michael Eugene. I was taught that Daniel's 70th week was in the future. Is that really what the Bible teaches? Have we searched the scriptures and found this to be true? Why is it so important for a re-established Israel to build a third temple in Jerusalem? Is it necessary to build a temple on the same location already occupied by the Dome of the Rock? Is it necessary for sacrifices to take place in the temple on Temple Mount? Is there really a rapture followed by 7 years of tribulation? What is the New Testament temple? Can we identify history and prophecy? Who is the first beast in Revelation chapter 13? Who are the 7 kings in Revelation 17? I have asked all these questions, and I have found Nicholas Arthur's new book, When the Third Temple is Built, answers all these questions and more using Scripture to interpret Scripture. The Bible says that no prophecy of Scripture is of any private interpretation. Nicholas shows us in his new book, When the Third Temple is Built, how the Bible interprets prophecy and not man's private interpretation. Visit crosstheborder.org, C-R-O-S-S, crosstheborder.org, to get your print, EPUB, or PDF version of Nicholas Arthur's new book titled When the Third Temple is Built. That's crosstheborder.org.
The following program is labeled dangerous and off limits by the supreme Jesuit command. But stand tall, people. Listen up, and you may just learn something.
Oh, dear Lord Jesus, this ain't happening, man. This can't be happening, man. This isn't happening.
Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, back for the second half hour. Yes, here. This show's geared for all people of races, colors, and creeds, and even if you think you're a boy one day and a girl the next, you can listen, at least to this show, until you get your head on straight and your senses back. What is this? You know, nobody's talking about anything anymore. You know, schools are out. Nobody cares about anything. Just don't walk outside and get near anybody that sneezes. My Lord, this show's better. Yes, it's better than having to listen to these Hollywood actors whine, you know. And it's better than having to listen to Brad Pitt go, I'm not wearing a mask. Why, Brad? Because, you know, I can't deprive the women of the world this beautiful face. Can you imagine me going out with a mask covering up this beautiful face that's made me millions of dollars? And isn't it crazy? You know, I feel sorry for these Hollywood actors, just like I feel sorry for the Jesuits and all of their minions. I really do. I really, they have a burden on their hands, you know, how to control the masses. It's not easy. You think this is easy? This is hard stuff. You know, they have to do it with a little bit of deception. They can't go out and say, I'm the king, you're going to listen. No, they have to be deceptive. They have to say, this is a democracy, as a republic, we love you, and we're going to protect you. But they realize, you know, that it takes a toll on them. And I feel sorry for them because they have to wake up every day and lie, you know. And then they don't even, but you know what? Then they can go to their Jesuit confessors and get everything erased away because it's for the better good. The ends justify the means. Yes, you can lie about the COVID virus because it's better. We need to depopulate the world. We need to kill off a lot of people. And who cares about these people if you call them useless? They're useless eaters. Yeah, all they do is eat, watch TV. We don't need them. We've got robots coming, We got 5G, the Internet of Things. We don't need this. We can go to our restaurants and have robot service. Yeah, that's what they're thinking. It's a difficult job, so I feel sorry for them, just like I feel sorry for all these Hollywood actors. Can you imagine? Poor Brad Pitt. Do you think they're going to tell him to wear a mask? Oh, my goodness. Are you going to tell these beautiful Hollywood actresses to wear masks? It's going to mess up their makeup, for Christ. I mean, and their hair. Can you imagine putting those little straps over their ears? No, they're not going to do that. And I feel sorry for them if they have to. Plus, the real reason I feel sorry for them is word has it, and it was said today in that tunnel in Georgetown. We all know about it because I give you the Inside Georgetown report, just like Inside Hollywood, because they go down from Georgetown. The director, he starts his day there in Georgetown U, like all the other Jesuit shills. Father Luigi Franconi's got a script for the day. His writers have already put it together. They're good at this. In fact, there's a lot of history going on here because people don't care about anything anymore. I'm convinced this is to wipe away the brain of anything you think badly about these people, unless you get the COVID virus hoof and mouth disease like me. If you catch it, I hope you get it, because I'm not wishing any ill will or discomfort on you. I'm wishing that you get it because it's very contagious. Once you listen to the things these Jesuits have done, you can't help but look at more and talk about this. And this thing, the COVID virus, hoof and mouth disease, is unstoppable. I cannot stop talking about this stuff, how stupid this is, how crazy. Everything doesn't make sense. And you just keep going and blibbering and blathering on. But it's all making sense when you really look at it. And so these Jesuits are down there now. Luigi Franconi goes down into the little green room they have. They call in all the actors of the day, King Trump, Lord Pence, and the rest of them, and Jesuit sorcerer Anthony Fauci comes in, and they all go through, their script, and they give you little tips. How do we do this? Well, we have a mechanical fly on the wall that they don't know about. They've been, they listened to my show yesterday. They can't find it. That's driving them crazy. I heard them this morning go, "Where's that damn fly? Where's the fly?" They said they got a mechanical fly, and they know everything we're saying here. He's repeating it. I mean, what are we going to do? And then one of their Jesuit counselors says, "Father Luigi Franconi, don't worry. Let them speak. They won't believe him. They don't believe anybody. They only believe Alex Jones, and he works for us. They have tried. We can destroy his character in a day. Plus, they think he only gets a few listeners. Let him speak. You know something? They'll think it's crazy that he's got a mechanical fly. But Luigi, I want to find that fly. I don't care about you." So they're looking for the fly. I get to listen to every word they're saying. And it's true. I mean, everything they're saying in the morning comes out in the afternoon, and I'm listening to it. I'm going, wow. Keep that mechanical fly on the wall, So anyway, this morning, they were sitting there talking about, all of these crisis actors again. And they're really disturbed about this story. Now, this story appeared somewhere, and and he said, you know something? A story came out that there's dozens of decomposing corpses found in non-refrigerated trucks at NYC funeral home. And they're saying, listen, where's the verification? We got to get more verification. People aren't going to believe it. All we had in the story was that some people said it stunk. They saw a lot of blood dripping and bodies piled up in a truck. And this story came out. And they want more verification. So they're trying to get some of the bigger guys like CNN and Sean Hannity and all these people to cover this story that really could be a hoax or not. You can't believe really anything, can you? You hear this and then you go, well, Are they really stacking? Are those COVID virus bodies, or is it a body from the guy that got hit by the 300-pound pig? So anytime you hear a story like that, remember you got to verify these things, everything. And there's so much coming out. They're really upset because they're talking about we've got to use less Italian Americans as crisis actors because they're starting to catch on, and the mob and the Italians are going, we're not all in the mob. Well, now they know how Polish people feel when they say we're all not stupid. I want to hear one Polish joke. You don't hear much anymore, but man, when I grew up, that's how I got my start in comedy. Really. I'd walk out the door and they'd start laughing. I'd say, my goodness, I could make money on this. I realized, you know what I said to myself when I was young? I'm going to let my sports ability speak for myself. And so I just didn't care. Once I became, first string on the football team, one of the best baseball players, people are going to say, sure you were. Well, I was on the starting team. Nobody bothered me. You got to use your talents for what they are. And boy, that's why I miss baseball. Because really, it protected me from all those Polish jokes. And anyway, as I got older, I used it to my favor. And then I dropped my last name just to be fair to other comedians. I got tired of everybody laughing. I'd give them my name and they just wouldn't stop laughing. And I didn't even have to say a joke. And these poor boys and girls were slaving over, I've got to write this joke. They tell me I got to make a joke every 8 seconds, or if people don't laugh every 8 seconds, I'm going to die. But anyway, back to feeling sorry about, so we got what's going on in Georgetown. And today I've got one little tidbit for you. They are already, yes, this came out. It's an intro. I got to pull it here because this mechanical fly also has the ability to document everything, and then he transposes it not in words, but into not orally, but whatever he hears comes out in words. It's pretty good. It's an app you can get. But there's something here that's interesting. They were talking about, the mutations are underestimated. They said, listen, we've got this in the script, guys. And they go, what's new? And they said, be prepared in a week or two that we have a team of Chinese scientists, have found dozens of new viruses, more deadly, and they're going to kill more people. And this is going to be in the script. The ability of the novel virus to mutate has been previously vastly underestimated. And everybody's going, wow, that's a good way. So we're going to have another one? Oh, yeah, they're talking about this one. And they've already got it in the script, discovered that the virus's mutations directly affect the deadliness. So they're going to hit you again with more deadly stuff. And so since this is a reality show, we have to be on the lookout. We know they can create bioweapons. But my question is, why are they going through all this trouble, of trying to fake people out? We all understand what you're doing. It's the question of what we can do, and it doesn't appear to be much, when 180 countries sign on to this, except for Taiwan. Yeah, they put that in the script just to... For some, I don't know. This was earlier. Do you know that in Taiwan, it's the most heavily traveled country right outside of China? And they don't have any cases. And they don't have any lockdowns. So what's going on? Well, they got to make it confusing, I guess. So, another little script thing. China's outraged. They talked about this. They're not sure they're going to use it, but Germany is going to accuse Beijing of exporting coronavirus pandemic, and China's now demanding 149 billion euros in damages. Okay? That could be in the script. What else? Oh, one thing they mentioned, New York, we have to allow coronavirus nurses to go into nursing homes and infect these people. That'll be a good one. Okay, they got a lot of little stuff here that they put in these scripts. Oh, here's one. Mexico City hospital is completely overwhelmed as serious coronavirus cases rise. So, a lot of this stuff in their reality script has to be double-checked. And one of the things they're sticklers on is they don't like to get caught. So they're not going to use as many Italian-American crisis actors. Somebody pointed out that there were a lot of them, and a couple of them were really bad. So no crisis actors. They're getting paid more than extras. Remember years ago, I don't know if you remember this, but I'd always considered, even before coronavirus, an act, a show, they put on this thing, because it's all staged before. They staged 9/11, they staged the Kennedy assassination, but, it's all in their script. Now we're really getting an inside view, an inside Georgetown look at this, because it's their biggest sitcom ever. So, I always talked about this years ago. I say, we're only extras in this, and we should get paid. In Hollywood, since I have a little background in it, I know that they get $150 to $100 a day, so I'd always push for that. And, I'm glad to see that at least they listened, and they gave you $1,200. I know they owe you a lot more, because I said all you have to do is compute how long you've been playing in their movie, how old are you, and listen, give them a benefit of the doubt. Don't start until you're legally old enough to, collect money, unless you become a child actor. And then you can make millions. And then by the time you're old, you'll be so sexually molested you won't have any hope of doing anything as an adult. So you got to make the choice. Either I'm a star when I'm 10, or I wait till I grow up so I can get involved with Maria Abramovich's cooking and involved in all Madonna satanic stuff and have a great career. But back to what I feel about I feel sorry for them. Can you imagine them being locked up? If they are. I don't see how they can be, because they need self-adoration every day. Oh, love me, kiss me, hold me. They need this every day. They're very needy. And to not have an audience is traumatic. We may never have a Hollywood star again. It's long past the days of, the great ones like Spencer Tracy, Humphrey Bogart. These guys, they wouldn't have. They'd elicit this and say, government, get away from me. I'm going out and making a movie. Call their agent. They'd have Hollywood working like that. Now, what are these big stars doing? Pull your weight. Tell Scorsese to hire those people. Get the lighting guys there, the cameramen. Let's get Hollywood moving. Enough of this online stuff. But how are they going to exist without people? They need to be adored every day. Can you imagine waking up and they don't have anybody to put makeup on them, do their hair, get them dressed? Tell them, oh, you got to cut this here by the eyebrow. It looks a little bad when you do your, profile. They're going to go out of their minds. We're going to have a bunch of psychologically impaired actors when this is over. It's going to really affect everything. They're already screaming. I mean, they're at their home. I don't know. Many of them I've got inside information, are calling their agent going, I can't take another day of not being loved by the masses of Americans. And they're not buying the online stuff, They're not sending enough money. They only sent $127 million when we did our Together online thing. And by the way, why are you sending them money? As if they need money. Do you think it's going to go there? Let me give you an example. Years ago, we were doing a lot of stuff on all the Vatican outrageous things they do, like pretend that Fatima and Medjugorje, which are places where Mother Mary supposedly appeared, showing how that's ridiculous and really documenting it with factual stories about people that were really outrageously abused by the Jesuits and how much they put in their coffers on these fake Mother Mary apparitions. Then, of course, we got into a whole series on why saints are really devils. And one of the interesting ones is Mother Teresa, because everybody, when they see Mother Teresa and listen, they go, oh my goodness, she's such a good person. But when you start looking at a lot of the things she did in India, it's kind of suspect. Well, anyway, when I was talking about it, we were gathering information. Two former nuns that worked with her talked to me about it, and they said, we worked in the financial department and we had to leave, and they had to talk to me under secrecy because you know what they do to people like that. that uncover that they're money laundering. So a lot of the money that was coming into her organization wasn't going to help the poor, to put it mildly. So then I see a picture recently of Dr. Fauci when he was young with Mother Teresa. I got it on my website. And people are going, doing research. I'm talking about Dracula here and the Three Stooges, and people are actually doing serious research. Well, it's both needed. It really is. So people did some research on Fauci, and they did, it's not hard. Where do you go? Jesuit high school, Jesuit grade school probably. I don't know if they have them. I went to St. John Brebeuf, and it wasn't Jesuit. And the school I went to was Notre Dame. That was Holy Cross Fathers. And the Jesuits were at Loyola, across town. Wilmette, I think, very rich place. So anyway, Fauci then went to Holy Cross, Jesuits University, and then got his start with George Bush, Sr., knighted got the Freedom of Information Medal or whatever from George Bush Jr., and if you listen to his tapes, he's praising these people. Then he works for Democrats, he works for Trump, and so Trump, if he's cleaning the swamp, he's not really doing a good job. So basically, they ought to really, if they're going to clean something up, to clean it up. Fauci shouldn't be there if you believe Trump's for real and not an actor. He's got a good shtick. Probably the best president in the role, best actor in the role of president we've ever had. And I hope he wins an Academy Award, even though he always is yelling at Hollywood. But that's their game. It's kind of like this. I learned about this. When I worked with, and we're kind of having fun here, right? Talking about the old days. When I first worked in radio on the alternative, I worked out in Austin. Let me tell you, that's an interesting place. But to make a long story short, I got to know what Alex Jones was all about, John Stabmiller at Republic, and they always were arguing. But then again, they basically were playing the same game, I think. And Jones, basically, to me, has always been put there by the Jesuits and by the New World Order to get you to go to his place. He was the first one on the scene. They had two Alex Jones, by the way. In 1997, there was another one. He wasn't very good, so they picked this one, or created him. And it's very difficult to figure out who he is. But let's say he's who he says he is. It's pretty obvious that he works for them. And I've got some really good things that happened to me there that not only give me the information that I find, but also personal information. And I can honestly say the guy really works for them, makes millions of dollars, and leads you down a lot of wrong rabbit holes. That's their game. They did it back in the French Revolution with Voltaire. They do it today. So Jones, basically, is that kind of person. So on the internet, you have to be wary of this. And I have a lot of experience at it. So I know, at least, I get a feeling it's kind of like, that really seems like what they would do, but you never really know. For example, I got an email the other day. This is what I got to deal with. And a guy says, I tried to find your phone number, but I couldn't. I go, okay. Why call me? Email. It's easy. Then he says, I want to tell you, I'm from Washington, D.C., and there are Ethiopian Jesuits here that are cannibals. They're cannibalistic. And it's the sect of Jesuits, and I'm sitting there going, he goes, please contact me. Give me your phone number. And I'm going, this is the kind of stuff you get when people are trying to infiltrate you, So I, always game to play their game, if that's the case. And sometimes you have to weed them out this way. I said, okay, where'd you get your information? Give me more. How do you know this? And we'll see. But that's the kind of things you got to deal with, cannibalistic Ethiopian Jesuits. Now, they want me to report that as a true story. I'm not, because then they think, oh, we've got him. Maybe that's what they do. I've been caught in that game. It's kind of like the people that say, oh, if you talk about aliens, then you're not trusted in any other area. And in a serious show, you might be true, but I'm not serious. So I can say anything I want, really, because I have the COVID virus hoof and mouth disease. So I can say that, the Three Stooges are my favorite show, and I watched them yesterday, and basically the Three Stooges are more important than the White House Task Force, and I can get away with it. Now, most people, if you do a serious show, you can't say that. No, you got to say, on the one hand, the White House Task Force has a point, and on the other hand, we have another source that's, and they go through, you're getting that all over. 5G and COVID-19 evidence mounts, Pentagon's vaccine laboratory program, black depopulation of goal of NIH, CDC, COVID-19 gate. Here comes the whistleblower complaint from Big Pharma. Fauci and Gates conspired to kill. Proven effective countries around the world. Trump set to dismantle the coronavirus task force. Plandemic, a film about the global plan to take control of our life liberty. So this is what you're getting. All right, I was going to do this, but check this out. Dead Zone was a TV show in 2003. It's incredible. There's a 3-minute clip on how they really explain exactly the COVID virus. They even mention coronavirus, lockdown, hydrochlorine, being the cure. I was going to play it, but I got carried away with, feeling sorry for all my Hollywood actor friends. I'm crying. I can't believe they have to put up with no fans to love them and kiss them and hug them and adore them. Man, can you imagine being one of them and not being able to get an autograph for 51 days? Oh my God, they're going to be insane. Our movies are really going to be affected by that. Okay, folks, all out of time. Back tomorrow on the Investigatore Giornale.
The book of Revelation says, the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Jesus Christ. This is at the very heart of FirstAmendmentRadio.com. In that spirit, we have created the Prophecy Reality News app for all of your mobile devices, streaming First Amendment Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Available for your Apple, Android device, and smartphone, absolutely free. Get the Prophecy Reality News app installed today so you can listen to First Amendment Radio wherever you are. The Prophecy.
Since the beginning of time, kings have sought it, nations have fought for it. It has been traded, it has been borrowed, it has been purchased, it has been stolen. There's a reason for it. To secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and to our posterity. Invest with the security of gold and silver. Call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188 or visit discountgoldandsilvertrading.net. Listen to Financial Survival with your host Melody Cedarstrom right here on FirstAmendmentRadio.com at 4 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit discountgoldandsilvertrading.net or call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188. Toll free 1-800-375-4188.